Well, all of the apologies, everybody. It's apparently we have the race going already. Michael Folds has qualified in the pole position. We're already underway. Race going green a lot sooner than we thought. The countdown timer was not showing. What we had thought was the countdown to the end of qualifying, but apparently the end to the grid. So we do apologize for that. We will get the sound here shortly for you as well. But racing underway with 30 minutes on the clock regardless. As you get your sound up here as well. And right now, off the start, as we take a look at this battle for about P17 between Moreno Jr. and Bonavita, correction. Go ahead and look through the field. Once again, apologies for missing the start. Apparently, the in-sim time was not showing the countdown towards the end of the qualifying session. Apparently, that was showing the countdown towards the end of the grid time. So, apologies for missing the start there. That's something that we will report as feedback to iRacing here as well. Regardless, the race is still underway. The top 10, as you were, pretty much all the way down to about 13th, is where everybody has qualified. It's where they sit now. I say that, but I see Charles Wolf in the background. Sorry, that's not Charles Wolf. That's Daniel DeLiberti and Matthew Breton going a little bit wide as well. He's about to get passed by James Newell. Meanwhile, just behind these two, it's Aaron Reynolds and Mario Frater that are side by side. And this is the Sebring Club circuit as well. A very unorthodox layout with no visible start-finish line. So it was just about here as where that start-finish line is for... Actually, in fact, that's pit exit. So that's apologies for that. Got bar of the track mixed up, but regardless, the sun is very slowly rising here. Actually setting, as in-sim time, it is about 6:10 p.m. As Alfredo does his best to hold off Aaron Reynolds, blips the brakes just a little bit, hangs on to it. Reynolds, not done with this battle just yet. As we take a look from up above, Reynolds trying to peek around the outside. Here comes Tom Sanders into the battle with this as well. Will he split the middle 3 wide? He has the opportunity to do so. Does he go through the middle 3 wide? All 3 on the brakes. He has the nose. Aaron Reynolds gets the best of it. Sanders gets shuffled out. Back into the clutches of the top half of the top 10. Start-finish line is right about here as well. For those of you that are interested, there's no visible marking on the racetrack, by the way, for that start-finish line. But we will let you know when these drivers do cross the start-finish lines just before pit entry for this racetrack. As we take a look at this battle just behind this group that we have been keeping a little bit of an eye on for about P12. This is where all the cars have been setting and shuffling positions around for a while. And of course, now that we have a moment to collect ourselves as well, the championship situation coming into this event. As we continue to take a look at this battle, championship coming into this event is as follows. We'll show this here on your screen. It's Michael Folds leading over Charles Wolf. Nicholas Shepard tied for 3rd place in the standings with Matthew Bartlett. Olivier Henrico just 10 points over Matt Mullins for 5th place, and then the rest of the field on your screen. At least the top 26 in points, more specifically. That means coming into this race, the only 2 drivers that do have a chance at winning the championship are both Michael Folds and Charles Wolf. And Folds, well, The only way for Folds to lose this championship is if Charles Wolfe finishes first place and Folds finishes P19 or lower. Folds will only tie in the championship if he finishes P18. And since there's 20 cars on track, that is a very high possibility. Well, it is a possibility, more accurately. It's not exactly a high possibility, but it is a possibility regardless. Charles Wolfe still holding strong. He currently sits fourth right here, just at the very tail end of the top four of this little group here. And look at this, Matthew Bartlett about to go around the outside. First time, not James Newell, not Nicholas Shepard, not Michael Folds could lead in the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series, although that is very quickly thwarted by Michael Folds in the outside lane into the chicane here. Well, Aaron Reynolds has gone around off in the background. He's at least gone off in the background at the same chicane where Matthew Bartlett tried to make a move. Well, it's occurred with Aaron Reynolds in the number 7 car. First car in line here. Oh, just way too much speed into the opening corner. So it doesn't go around. He's just off track. Still hangs onto it, still facing forward though. Speaking of James Newell, he sits here in the 5th place position. Currently trying his best to gain a couple spots. He has done so far. He started in P7 and currently sits P5, and he's already chasing down the top 4. Last time around, he was about 2 tenths slower than Charles Wolfe, who's at the tail end of this top 4. But relatively matching the lap times of the top 4 is James Newell. Look at that. Nose to the bumper of Michael Folds from Matthew Bartlett. The field coming through for their 6th lap of a projected 25. Correction, 7th lap of a projected 25. The start finish line location is a little bit strange. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take a look back at the absolute calamity that is generally surrounding. Oh, wait a minute, that's Matthew White that's off the track as well. I swear we just saw Matthew White. He's battling for about 15th. Last time we checked in on him. Car to the inside, Matthew White, hard on the brakes. And that is, the number 20 of Franco Bonavita sends Matthew White sideways after a little bit of contact there. Currently taking a look at the battle for P9 between Alfredo and Sanders. Sanders will follow Alfredo, who takes the defensive line or up to the outside, back to the racing line. Not many drivers can really make a move here around the outside, but it looks like just the positioning was almost enough, at least for Tom Sanders to advance one more spot, but that time by, not so much. They'll cross the start-finish line here in a moment. I will let you know when. Right about now is where the start-finish line is. There's no marking on the track, so it's a little bit unorthodox. And just like an outside pass into turn 1 is a little bit unorthodox, but Tom Sanders just makes that work. As he goes up to P9, he'll now go defensive against Mario Alfredo, but he leaves the door open almost. He got very lucky. Hard on the brakes. Contact between Alfredo and Tony Wallace. Alfredo makes contact with the 18. No, that's the number 8. Sorry, that's the number 18. Both drivers, both the 8 and the number 18. New driver for this week is Alex Kubelis. New in the top split for this week. One of about 4 drivers that are new in the top split for this week, making the unique count of all one-time starters up to 77 throughout this entire season. 77 unique drivers had started in at least the top split, more accurately, throughout this whole season, throughout the last, well, now 12 weeks. Matthew White, a little bit wide as Alfredo goes around the outside. Not sure if there was contact or if Matthew... No, see the back bumper is pretty intact, so I think it was just traction on the corner exit for Matthew White. So Alfredo move up to P18. Oh, well, I was just about to make a statement on Franco Bonavita, but we just popped in to see him off the racetrack. What's happened to Franco Bonavita? Just too heavy of... Oh, man, Kramer does make a little bit of contact. And that front nose is quite damaged as well on Kevin Kramer. Or Kramer, I should say, sorry. In fact, he has decided, yeah, to pull off and tow back to pit road. So no doubt a little bit of suspension damage. Fortunately, unfortunately, an early end to Kevin Kramer's race today. But one of 4 unique drivers, we can get to the original point. Yeah, one of the 4 unique drivers to make their start this week in the top split. Franco Bonavita as well is the second of the 2 alongside Alex Kubelis. And those other 2 drivers being one of them, if we move up in the order. If we move up in the order, we'll see Wesley DeCruz and Aaron Reynolds battling between themselves as Reynolds tries to keep the nose there. They'll be side by side. Reynolds tries to go for a switch back to the inside, but not able to make the move there. Moving further up ahead, there we go. We have Daniel Perry, who qualified in P15. He currently sits in 11th. He is new to the top split for this week. There's another driver that we did have that I saw on the entry list, unless I skipped over him somehow. Oh, unfortunately I did. That would be Bill Daniels in the number 10 machine. Qualified P20, sits 19th for the moment. Trying to learn from the other drivers here in the top split. Tony Wallace, Tom Sanders side by side once again as they'll go through the final chicane here. I don't know if it's really a chicane or just a sequence of corners, but regardless, I do make their way through. This is going to bring in Daniel Perry to this battle. I think he wants to try and make it 3 wide, but thinking better of it. Look at this, 2 by 2. Down into turn number 1 we go. Sanders gets ahead. Daniel Perry gets ahead as well, but Tony Wallace just keeps the nose there. They will stay side by side for P10 here. Daniel Perry with the preferred lane here on corner entry. Can we get a top 10 finish here? Tires on the curb. Let's ride on board Gregorio Moreno Jr. to take a look at this battle from in-car. You see Daniel Perry was caught out, not able to do anything, and Moreno decides to back off a little bit. Oh, man, way loose. All 3 drivers, Wallace, Perry, and Moreno, all 3 of them going off the track in some form. Wallace had one heck of a save there, as Kevin Kramer has officially retired from this race. No doubt just too much damage on that MX-5. More sliding in from Tony Wallace. Here comes Moreno around the outside of Daniel Perry. This is for P12, well, I should say P11. As Tony Wallace sits P12, Tom Sanders sits P9 at the moment. And he is charging away as these 3 will battle behind him. But this is also bringing in Aaron Reynolds and Wesley DeCruz into this battle in the process. It's going to have a 5-car battle, correction, for P10. Whenever we have a 3-car battle for P10, we could have a 5-car battle for P10 here in the next couple laps if this side-by-side racing does keep up between Wallace and Moreno. But maybe just on pure pace, Reynolds might be able to catch up, might be able to bring in Cruz alongside as well. See how this fares in the next 15.5 minutes. Tony Wallace got loose once again. Moreno is going to capitalize. He'll go side by side. This is going to bring in Daniel Perry as well. As we look from up above, here comes Perry to the inside. Sits right alongside, way harder on the brakes. A little bit of a nudge with a side door as well from Perry to Wallace, but still, that is Daniel Perry up to P11 now behind Moreno. You can just see Aaron Reynolds and Wesley Cruz. They have effectively caught up to this battle, so this is now basically a 5-car battle for the 10th place spot. And a lot of drivers just putting their wheels wide there into the gravel. A very treacherous decision, but doesn't seem to have affected the tires too much just yet. Tony Wallace will be on the defensive here from Aaron Reynolds, who looks to the inside. And Wallace just goes wide. He's having trouble with that corner. No doubt that's going to be a slowdown penalty for Tony Wallace. I'd not be surprised if Wallace does have to slow down at some point, but again, just completely cutting the corner. He's been having problems with that one section here ever since we've been starting to look at this battle. Contact is made, but just barely. As Wallace and Reynolds continue on, Wallace was shutting the door on the foot, to use an analogy of some sort, of Aaron Reynolds there, where Reynolds was still there. Look at that, going way wide as the Cruz. These drivers will have to be careful as well. They do have to adhere to a 17 incident limit, a 17-point incident limit. So going off track 17 times like that, it is very possible in this 25-lap race. And it's very possible that a driver could get black flagged for exceeding that 17-point incident limit. Matt Mullins, Matthew Breton, side by side. They're battling as Mullins gets by Breton. I don't think this battle is quite done just yet, or else we'll have cut to a replay, because Breton is right on the back bumper here for P6. Shows the headlights around the outside, falls back in line. Let's go ahead and run this back towards the replay to just the tail end, just where we caught the pass from Mullins. Let's see if we can catch the pass from Mullins fully on this time. As the slipstream peaks out, down into the braking zone he goes, just a little bit more on the brakes in comparison to Breton. Almost went off the track, but managed to get that pass done in about turn 12. Let's check in with the front runners this time, because it's about to be a pass between James Newell and Michael Coates. Hello, James Newell. Welcome back to the podium. It's been quite a long time since we've seen him. Either bad luck or just the field spread. But somehow, for the first time since, well, I think 3 races ago, James Newell is back on the podium. Currently double checking my stats here. Yeah, last time James Newell was on the podium is when he won. That was the 9th race of the season, just about 3 weeks ago now. And while we do have a chance as well, I'll show you the schedule coming into this event as well, just to get you up to speed with where we have been, what's happened over the course of the season. It was Nicholas Shepard winning the first 2 races of the season. Michael Folds won at Sonoma since Shepard did not attend that race. Then it was Shepard that won at Road Atlanta. Folds won twice in a row at Mexico and Donington. Shepard retorts with a win in Alton Park. Folds retorts again with a win in Hungaroring, where James Newell nearly got that win. Then James Newell got his win in Indianapolis, and that's been Folds twice over since Tsukuba and Charlotte. Looking to go for a 3rd win on the season. The only driver, very interestingly enough, I should say, let me reword that, is that, very interestingly, no one has won more than twice in a row this season. Compared to last season, where Nicholas Shepard, well, it was just the Nicholas Shepard show last season, absolutely putting on a clinic throughout last season, winning, I think, upwards of 8 in a row. I'd have to double check. And for that, I don't have a spreadsheet, but I should probably make one. But regardless, winning upwards of about 7 to 8 in a row throughout the entirety of last season. And this season, it's definitely been a challenge in the form of Michael Folds, who has shown flashes last season as well by finishing on the podium. But James Newell as well, showing flashes himself. And he is back on the podium after starting in 7th place, making his way through what is now a 6.5 second gap between Matt Mullins and Charles Wolfe. He has closed the gap. He has shown that he does have the pace. It is very possible for Newell to steal the win away from Michael Folds. I say steal, but more snag the win away and prevent that 3 in a row from happening. We still have just under 9.5 minutes left. It is very possible that Newell could definitely have something to say about the wins for Michael Folds this season. Look at James Newell just on the back bumper of Matthew Bartlett. And it's very intriguing as the best lap set so far this session is by James Newell. So whatever he's got with that setup, it has clicked for him because it is a 1 minute 12.868 being the fastest lap for James Newell. For Michael Folds, as we look at this battle for 5th place, his fastest lap is 1:13.327, 0.5 of a second faster. Great defensive drive by Daniel Perry there on corner entry over Moreno. Tom Sanders has not fully set sail like I thought he would. He did a little bit initially the last time we checked on him, as way wide goes Daniel Perry. Again, having to be careful, having to make sure you don't get too many incident points, or else you will get a drive-through penalty, as Franco Bonavita has dropped out, not due to a crash, but due to a connection issue. So it marks 2 drivers, at least as of right now, that have not finished the race. And right when I say that, reconnecting to the server is Franco Bonavita. He'll be on track shortly. So can James Newell do the unthinkable? Can he be the only other driver to, let me see if I can phrase it this way. So my brain is going about 2 different directions with about 5 different sentences here. Folds and Shepard are the only 2 drivers to have repeat wins this season. The only driver to not have a repeat win this season is James Newell. So Newell wants to set the record straight and say, hey, you guys aren't the only ones that can do multiple wins per year. But at the same time, with how Matthew Bartlett has been sitting behind Folds this entire race so far, well, never mind, because James Newell is about to be the driver that's going to be sitting behind Michael Folds this session. To the inside goes James Newell. He found the space, he found the opportunity, he went for it, and it worked. He's now up to 2nd. I was about to say, could Matthew Bartlett play spoiler and be the one to get to be the 4th driver to get a win on the season? But Newell has other things in mind, as he'll just go wide all over the back bumper of Michael Folds. And there goes James to the inside. He sees the opportunity. Side by side they'll go. And they'll stay side by side just out of the corner. And back to single file we go through turn 5, I believe is what this is technically. Then through turn 6. And then turn 7. If I'm looking at my track map correctly, and I hope I am, we have lap cars up ahead. No, we do not. What is being shown here? Oh, I see. It's a little bit an issue with the track map, but regardless, what's not going to be an issue is the display showing that James Newell might be in 1st place here. He'll try and hang it around the outside. He wasn't able to do so. From 7th to 2nd, 5.5 minutes remaining. And projected 5 laps to go. Side by side they'll go. Newell around the outside. He will not have the preferred lane. Matthew Bartlett thinks it's the line to go, though, as he'll stay single file. Around the outside goes James Newell, as my voice breaks for some reason. Apparently it's that unthinkable. Folds is trying to stick the nose there. It's still there. The front axle's there. They're wheel to wheel. Side by side they'll go. Newell goes in a little bit too hot. Left side tires onto the gravel. Bartlett slots him behind nowhere. He's not sure where to go. And look at that. Charles Wolfe trying to get around Michael Coates. Where'd Michael Coates come from, by the way? He snuck his way up to 4th place here. In fact, he's been here the whole time. I'm thinking about James Newell, who moved himself up the order past Coates and Bartlett, who have been sitting behind Michael Folds throughout this race. James Newell is going to go for it. We'll look from up above to look. Just nope. Definitely not going for it. Almost had to go for it, though, because he tried to slot back in line. But Matthew Bartlett was there, had a little bit more overspeed in the braking zone compared to James Newell. So Newell had a little bit of a moment there, but no major time lost. These lap times are ticking down pretty quickly. Around to the outside goes James Newell once again. Just not able to capitalize there. I'm pretty sure he knows he can do it. He knows he can capitalize. He just has to find the right amount of overspeed, the right timing. He can get alongside. It's very possible. But can he get past Michael Folds is the question. And Mario Alfredo sent to pit road for pit connection issues. That's automated by the iRacing service. Just look at the body language of the car for Newell, just all over the place. Just all over the curves, more accurately. Next time by, we should be heading into 3 laps to go. Newell peeks out, not able to make a move here. Not able to make a move this lap. At some point, he will have to absolutely go for it. And he's already been going for it ever since he caught up to the back bumper of Michael Folds. Will this be the time that Newell goes for it? Does he show the nose? He does. He goes to the outside this time. He'll try it once again as we look from up above. Who's better on the brakes into turn number 1? Who's better on the outside on corner exit? A little bit more preferred lane from James Newell. It's going to be a repeat of the last time that this happened for both drivers. Folds will just have the preferred lane here on the inside, and Newell will try and slot back in behind. He makes a little bit of contact, though. This brings in Matthew Bartlett, who shows the nose, backs off. Newell shows the nose to Folds. Nothing there yet. Very fascinating that Matthew Bartlett showed the nose and then backed off of James Newell. I think Bartlett's just trying to get a podium here at this point. And the next time we cross the start-finish line, it will officially be 2 laps to go as well. With just under 2 minutes remaining and about 1:14 on track time. Or on lap time, I should say. It will be 2 laps to go this time by. 2 more opportunities. 2 more full laps for James Newell to give himself a repeat win on the season and to deny Michael Folds a 3 in a row, something that has been rare this season. He'll go for it again around the outside. Does he try for the switchback? Does he try and squeeze Michael Folds off? Does he get the overspeed? Looks like to be a no to all those questions. As Newell will try and hang it around the outside again. This time he's there. Folds does give the space. He does opt to give him the space. And he'll put Newell around the outside. Not able to do so, though, as Newell not able to capitalize this time by. And coming into this season, Michael Folds has done what we had thought after last season's performance from Nicholas Shepard would be pretty much impossible. And that is best Nicholas Shepard. This time, James Newell is about to best Michael Folds here as they'll go side by side into the chicane. Put off line is James Newell. He'll have 1 more lap this time by, and it will be the white flag as they'll round the final corner right about here, and they will hit the white flag. 1 more opportunity for James Newell. He goes to the inside. Folds defends to the inside. Newell's off the track. Contact is made. Bartlett goes through to second. Newell up to first. Here comes Michael Coates. They're staggered 3 wide for third. Charles Wolfe can't make any opportunities. Does James Newell have a slowdown penalty? That's the real question. Folds went way defensive. We'll see how things fare here in these final few moments of the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series presented by Heusinkveld 2025 Season 4. And it looks to be no slowdown penalty from Michael Folds. Everybody's all on the line behind Michael Folds. He will surely go defensive. Bartlett sitting on the back bumper. He's going to push Michael Folds into the final corner as James Newell will come through the final two corners, and he'll do the unthinkable with 2 wins on the season. He denies Michael Folds that 3rd win in a row. James Newell, your 3rd repeat winner of the season, and Michael Folds will cross the start-finish line in 2nd in a drag race at the line between himself and Matthew Bartlett. But don't forget, though, that this was with a championship on the line, and that means that's Michael Folds who is currently and officially, well, unofficially, the broadcast champion for the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. Congratulations to Michael Folds on one heck of a season, one heck of a performance. Congratulations to James Newell on the race win as well. And man, what a race under the darkness and partial lights of Sebring that was. Let's go ahead and bring in your finishing results for this race. As coming up to the results screen, we have James Newell getting his 2nd win of the season here, doing what was effectively, maybe, potentially, at least in the latter half of the season, it may have been the unthinkable, I would argue, considering how Folds and Shepard had dominated the season between themselves. James Newell could have gone for 3 wins in a row, but of course, Folds had denied that opportunity at the Hungaroring. But what a season, what a race that was. We'll go through your finishing results. James Newell, 1st place here, getting his 2nd win on the season. Michael Folds, 2nd, becoming the unofficial, or provisional, depending on how you want to look at it, broadcast champion of the 2025 Season 4. We'll also get the iRacing standings as well. Take a look at those on the side here once everything gets sorted out on the iRacing service. As Charles Wolf, Michael Coates finishes in 4th place. One of the days that he was finally looking for has finally happened to him. He's gotten a top 5 and a relatively decent race for himself as well. Was looking to be on the podium, and then James Newell spoiled everybody in the top 4, as Charles Wolf is one of the top 4 drivers initially. That was also spoiled. He comes away with a 5th place finish, but still 5th place, nothing to sneeze at. 2nd place in the standings. Tom Sanders, skipping way ahead here as I'm typing out everything into our spreadsheet. Matt Mullins finishes in the 6th place position. 7th place between himself and Matthew Brenton. 2 Matts from the US and the UK coming to a side-by-side drag race for P6 and P7. We'll show that here once we get everything finalized. Matthew Bretton finishing 7th. Daniel Diliberti finishes in 8th place. 9th place is Tom Sanders, with Gregorio Moreno Jr. rounding out the top 10 of the field. Next page, and the bottom half of the field, is Tony Wallace. Very quiet day for him, but I would say it's a pretty good thing as well. Wesley DeCruz with a 12th place finish under his name for tonight. Also coming across in the drag race with Daniel Perry. And we're going to have to go through a couple things here after we take a look at your results and before we show your championship standings. Aaron Reynolds finishes in 14th over Alex Kubilis. I think it's Kubilis is how it's pronounced. He finishes in the 15th place position. Bill Daniels finishes in the 16th place position, with Matthew White finishing in 17th. Franco Bonavita, first start for him as well for this week. He finishes 18th. Mario Alfredo ran into some bad luck. He finishes in 19th. And Cameron Kramer quite literally running into a little bit of bad luck. He DNFs for P20 this season. And then we'll go ahead and get that replay of both the race for 6th and 7th here. P6 and P7, as well as, I think those P13 and P14. We'll get that across the start-finish lines between Mullins and Breton, as we'll go ahead and rewind and go ahead and get that up on your screen to see how that battle fared, how both of those battles fared across the finish line. Both of those combined finishes for P12 and P6 were pretty much enough to the point that was not even barely 600ths of a second collectively. Let's go ahead and get that up on your screen for that finishing battle. So this was coming to the line for P6 on the road between Matt Mullins and Matthew Breton. Mullins getting the better of Breton here. So he'll sneak his way to the inside. And there's that finish across the invisible timing beam, but believe it or not, it is there. And then same for P12 and P13 between Wesley DeCruz and Daniel Perry. Wesley DeCruz getting the better of Daniel Perry, also on the inside, interestingly. So the inside lane looks to be the key move there, as immediately he will pull off the track to retire the car after the checkered flag. Let's get the championship standings here on your screen. Once we get all of that added into our spreadsheet and updated for you, the viewer. And here is the championship standings as of the completion of this season. Michael Folds with an even 3,400 points finishes ahead over Charles Wolfe with it's about 380 point gap at the end of the day. Matthew Bartlett secures third in the broadcast championship. Matt Mullins gets 10 points over Nicholas Shepard, who finishes in 5th. And even though he did finish 5th, we have to say Nicholas Shepard still a very strong force in this season. Olivier Henrico, a little bit of a land of his own, not in a bad way as well. He will finish 6th in the standings. And then 10 points. Look at this. James Newell, Michael Coates, Moreno Jr. all separated by a collective 30 points. That's effectively 3 positions between themselves that it could have gone either way between 7th, 8th, and 9th. Tony Wallace rounds out the 10th place position. And again, go ahead and take a screenshot. Look for yourself if you are a driver and watching this back, because we have multiple pages of this. Down to the 77th driver. So as we'll just have this up on screen for a little bit, we'll also look at the iRacing standings. No graphic for that, but I will read it out for those that are interested. Keep in mind they are provisional standings. Let's go through the last portion. That should be down to 77 drivers, but I'm not sure why that bottom half is not updated just yet. Might be a spreadsheet issue. Apologies for that. But as we look at the iRacing standings, it is right now provisionally Michael Folds with 1,684 points over Nicholas Shepard with 1,651 points. So unofficially / provisionally, Michael Folds is the series champion under the iRacing format as well. But we'll have to wait for the week to finalize to see if that will indeed be the case. It's a very narrow margin, so we'll see how that fares. But we are done for this season, and I'd like to give a special thanks to ATVO for providing the software that you have seen used as well, especially with the new timing tower. Something that I thought was not possible, which is position swapping with a custom timing tower made by, I would say, ourselves, basically, instead of being purely coded from ATVO on Ask. So not specifically from ATVO to, let me see if I can rephrase that, because I was going there with that. Originally, the timing tower for changing positions was a thing that ATVO would customly code for stuff like iRacing officially or Race Spot, and now it's opened up to pretty much everybody, and that is a fantastic thing to see. Thanks to Heusinkveld for 2 seasons in a row, by the way, putting their names on the iRacing series for the Advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup Series. presented by Heusinkveld. Good to see them jumping on board for a second season. Hopefully, they make it 3 in a row. We'll see how that goes. Thanks to the community managers of Alex D. Logos and Nicholas Shepard, and as well as the general MX-5 community on iRacing. Even if you aren't part of the mini sub-communities or not even part of the top split broadcast, still, there is, I think, an average of about 3 or 4 splits depending on the week throughout most weeks of this season. So thanks to the entire MX-5 community for doing a fantastic job and doing what you do. Don't forget to vote on in the MX-5 forum, specifically the advanced MX-5 forum, to see what we will do about rain weeks. And oh, by the way, if we can push for iRacing to add lights at the Charlotte Roval, especially the interior, that would be fantastic, because that with the rain was a little bit hectic, and I was watching it from the outside. I couldn't imagine what it would be like from a driver's point of view. But that will do it for tonight, and that will do it for this season. Tentatively, we will be returning for at least, I would say, partial portion of the next season. Maybe, maybe not. I'll see how it goes. I'll feel it out over the next week. That's basically what it comes down to. I just do this for fun. I don't ask for money. I just ask that you support the, in this case, the MX-5 community, but also independent broadcasters of iRacing and just independent broadcasters in general of Sims, because it is a lot of work and it is a lot of fun. That will do it for this week. Tentatively, we will see you in general, hopefully, maybe, possibly, next year in general here on the Racing Line on the Racing Line Network. If not for the MX-5 series, then for potentially something else, but we'll see how that goes, especially as things come and go. But regardless, hopefully you have a fun time this season. I know I have. Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next time here on the Racing Line Network. Good night from Sebring.